That's where we're going. Back in your lives, in your ears, and in your face. Welcome to another episode of Papa Jesus. I must once again apologize for the slight delay today. During a pandemic, we can't always get together and do the things that we want to do. So, it is unfortunate that we're running the show, producing the show remotely. We don't want to be doing it. It comes with its hassles and all that kind of jazz. But if you've stuck around, thank you so much for listening. It's good to have you guys here. Back same time, well, slightly same time, same place, every Thursday. It's good to have you guys here. It's going to be a fun, slow episode. You know, this week for me hasn't really been very eventful. That's the thing about having a podcast every week. You gotta, you find things to talk about, and this week's just been particularly slow. I don't know what's been going on. I think everybody's just locked down doing their thing and trying to survive essentially. But for me it's been a bit slow, but that's why we always have the man in the chat, the man that was from the chat, the man that is now on the decks, our own trusty producer, Art Pereira. What is up, my man? How's that for a little bit of a stressful start to the show, dude?
And I can't figure out how to get rid of the audio delay that's coming into my headphones.
Well, I think I said this to you earlier. It really, if the listeners don't get it, it's all good. If you're getting it, I'm sure we can live with it for one night. But yeah, dude, it was a little bit of a stressful start. All of a sudden, the software that we usually use to do this remotely doesn't work, and then all of a sudden, we're trying to use new software that we've never used before. Then the audio is coming through double. It's just like, but you know what? At the end of the day, dude, you know what happened?
What?
We got it done. We're here.
Yeah. Yes.
We're here.
Yes.
We're living. We're doing the thing.
Yes, we do. That's true.
So how has your week been? Have you just also been just knuckling down, working, doing your thing?
Jeez, man, this week has been absolutely massive. Watch. There we go. I don't have a feedback anymore.
Shit.
No, it's been pretty mad. It's like there's a chick at work has got like we're organizing a baby shower for, and I'm the lucky guy that has to build this presentation. So they just keep adding stuff. And next thing you know, it's a 50-page PowerPoint deck. I've done an animation. There's games and graphics and stuff. I've been working on that stuff, plus all the other shit. It's been pretty busy trying to catch up with work, even after doing all of that stuff.
That's right, dude. I mean, it's cool to do, some hobby like extramural activities, something that doesn't involve money, that's something that you get a little bit of satisfaction out of, like, oh, I did that, so I understand what you mean. But and you know what, I was thinking to myself while pondering about tonight's episode. We don't have a guest, we're not going to be talking to anybody, it's just you and me again, which I actually gotta say, I love these episodes, dude. When you and I just riff off each other, we can talk shit for hours on end, and the only reason we don't is because we don't want the listeners to fall asleep to us talking shit for hours on end. But fuck, dude, I really dig the fact that we can do these solo episodes, and it's also like a little bit of a break from preparing for episodes. I look forward to just having a beer and sitting down and shooting the shit with a bud. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, dude. If only we could have a beer. Are we going to have a segment this week?
Well, look, I'm on the last legs. I literally only have a couple of these left, so I saved them for the show. I haven't had a beer all week, and decided, hey, it's the show. I always have a beer with the show, and that's a tradition that's never going to end. So if the prohibition continues, I'm going to have to look to illicit, illegal mean the same thing. Illicit alcohol trade, so old Zuma's in prison, and that's big news. I don't want to talk about it because I don't like talking about politics, but I mean, a lot of people are saying that's a big step for the country and the judicial system, that they put such a high powerful man away, and albeit only contempt of court, there's a number of other charges that could follow suit. But completely aside from the political talk, No beer of the week, dude.
I know. So
What you
that
got?
means
Are you sipping on anything cold at the moment? Although it's hell of a cold here in Cape Town. I see you've got your usual hoodie on, but it's freezing here at Papa G's house. So what are you drinking? Coffee or tea or empty?
it's
You're
empty
drinking
coffee.
empty. The strong, fresh flavor of empty
Dude,
really
it's
goes
been
a long
insane. I'm like,
way.
this place is so cold inside that my toes have been freezing for the past couple of days, and I'm like, normally I dig winter, but holy shit, I just couldn't deal with it. Now I've got like this cushion on the floor, and I've got a blanket on top of my feet because this is a no shoe household.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's like, I like winter, but it's been stormy weather for like almost 2 weeks. That's not cool.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Listen, I hope the listeners aren't getting what I'm getting, but I'm getting that same sound that I was getting from you the other day. So
That's
just check that out
weirdness.
if you can. But yeah, dude, it's been a very slow week. I mean, when, like I said, when I was starting to think about, what we're gonna do on the episode today,
Mm.
is specifically on Instagram. I've been going and looking at old photos and and on other social media platforms and whatnot, of all like the old gigs that I've played, and just doing a lot of like nostalgia, like searching.
Mm.
And I've been posting some of those photos that I've been like, I looked at those photos, I was like, look how happy I was there, and look at what we were doing there, and all that kind of shit. And been posting that, almost trying to like will it into existence, because that's had like a knock-on effect on all the other shit that I've been doing as well, like listening to music. I also feel like Spotify is just such a, it's just too much information for a simple man like me to understand, where I just get lazy and now and just go playlist that. Maybe I'll remember something, but the one thing I've kind of realized, and some people are better than me, is that
Mhm.
I never go back and say, hey, what was that? I always listen to this rad song, but there's always an album that kind of, or at least an EP or a 2-track kind of vibe that I always like miss out on, because it's just made it too easy for us. Did we have this conversation last week?
We had a
Maybe.
similar conversation to this about like like you used to be able to buy stuff and you learned more about it because you would buy it. Now with streaming, you just listen to what and whenever. You don't really remember what you listened to. You can't call the band name, for instance.
But I feel like that's a bad situation,
Yeah, I agree.
because then you're not picking up these gem bands. I mean, if you think about the playlists that are curated for you or whatever, on based on what you listen to, you put the playlist on, you have a couple of friends around, which is kind of not the case in the last 20,
Hmm.
18 months. But you never go back and look at the music that those artists have created. They've just been put on a curated playlist because they've done good marketing, so to speak. How do you think there's a way to, I mean, I see the guys like from Valverdinio doing extremely well. They brilliant. No sound issues outside. Sounds like awesome. Thanks, Jay. Um, it's yeah, like, so those guys are doing it well. They do like a hype of the song. They do like a photo shoot or release some sort of content, build it up, and then they put up a teaser the day before, and they say, and then they're all going, in 6 hours this is going to be released. That's good, the way to do it. And also they've got all like the merch that they're consistently offering, but I'm only aware of that because they're in the South African scene, right? Like, if I'm a dude in uh, whatever, Australia,
Hmm.
and I'm listening, I might not do that because Spotify's just chucked them on a playlist, you know?
I do know what you're saying, and I'm also thinking now that remember back in the day when you learnt about new bands, it was always word of mouth, like someone passed it on to you,
Yeah.
right? It's like I remember in high school getting just tape cassettes with stuff. And it's like, listen to this. Or someone's listening to something and you go, what is that? I want to copy. And then there was the point where exploring took over when you went to look for music, right?
Mm.
Now, because there's so much, it's coming back to the word of mouth thing. Like, I wouldn't have known
You have a very
about
good
Don
point there.
Broco if Andrew didn't tell me about it.
Gee, Sprue, that Don Broco is awesome.
Yeah.
But
And they've
I
been
mean,
around for 5 years.
that's crazy. I mean, well, that's another thing. And I think the whole issue of everybody not being able to hang out and stuff as a big thing to do with that, because you'll be listening to your music, Jared listening to his music, we get together and all of a sudden you show me this new band, then all of a sudden I'm keen and I'm digging it. The word of mouth isn't so easy anymore because everything's basically online, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it becomes a conundrum of, and also I see Good Luck, another South African pop, electro pop kind of band, also making waves in the scene, going, there's the musicians are suffering, dude. Musicians need to be able to go out and do their thing in order to earn their bread and butter, and they're not able to do that. Speaking of which, it's also so weird to see the rest of the world kind of like going back to normal. Download Festival was a week or two ago. You got UFC 264 this weekend, which is packed out in Las Vegas. Stadiums are being filled again for the NBA finals. It's crazy. And here
30,000
we
people
sit
at the Austrian Grand Prix.
I mean, that whole sea of orange for Max Verstappen. I mean, some would say it was Lando Norris, but we'll get to that later in the sports segment of the show. But you like that, eh? But at the end of the day, it's just like, it's weird. It's weird. And here we are in South Africa. We're always behind with things. I mean, we always got the movie. You know how I always equated to, dude? I always equated to the South Africans. It's like the movies. Everybody, we always get the movies later. It's like COVID. It's like movies. They released the COVID just in time for us to wait the longest. Hey, great topic. I remember Moment of Clarity did an EP or demo drop at Ramfest. It really helped, and we had a bunch of new fans. This was back in 2007, I think. Dude, I mean, that's also thanks, Mike Cubic, by the way. If we had some beer, we would have been able to rate it on the Mike Cubic scale today. Unfortunately, Cyril says no.
Cyril,
yeah, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but that was the same thing as what he said there, dude. Like when Toyland was playing, they were opening for Sepultura here in Cape Town. They were just dishing out CDRs.
That's how I got to find out about Toyland. I was at that Soulfly show.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Oh, you said Sepultura. It was actually Soulfly, by the way.
They also played with Sepultura.
Oh, did they? Shit.
Yeah,
because I was at the Dockside show, and that was Soulfly.
They also played with Sepultura in Sweden. They went up to Europe for a few weeks or a month or so, and they ended up doing a show with Sepultura in Sweden after the show that they played here in Paro.
Shit. Okay. That's crazy. I mean, those were my formative years that's when I started really getting into like high energy, lots of distortion. Because I
think that was the time when they changed their name to Forever Will Burn.
Don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea. All I remember is I saw Max Cavalera in person, and I saw that dude that always wore the backpack from El Nino. Do you know that guy? Do you know what I'm talking about? He always wore a backpack. He played guitar and he wore a backpack. He played for El Nino and he played for Soulfly as well. Somebody's got his name. He's a Mexican dude.
Yeah, that
My
guy.
Viking
He's cool,
ale is ready and so tasty. Must make a plan to get you some. Yes, dude. And hope you still recovering and coming right. I mean, obviously you're on the mend, but sounds like your system Joel must come happen soon when this COVID shit calms down. What
Yeah,
were you
but
going to say, Art?
I was just going to say, like, getting back to the thing about word of mouth, and using Don Broker as an example. Got a message from Andrew in the Verona Walls chat, and this is, have you heard this? Every time I hear something new, it comes from that.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get recommendations anymore.
Don't you?
No.
Well, I mean, also, okay, actually, I got a recommendation.
Or I don't notice.
Yeah, true. I mean, also, it's also if you choose to take notice, it's like whether you actually in that mind frame or whether you're willing to take in new music. I mean, I also find myself in that frame of mind where people tell me, hey, listen to this. And I'm just like, okay, I'm aware of it, but I'm going to listen to it in my own time. I get that a lot. I mean, the cool thing about this podcast is I get to listen to a lot of music, a lot of diverse, like music from all walks of life. I mean, I've had fella from Dream Shed. We had Devalin on the other day. We have the Fallen Prophets. We've got a whole bunch of different bands that have been here. And I get to listen to all their music. But when it comes to like my personal playlist, I don't look after it. For instance, there was one band that stuck out to me last year and I listened to, and that's what I do. I listen to it for the entire year and I like killed it, and I'm still not, and it's still not dead to me. And an album like that will last forever. It'll just be added to my all-time favorite list, so to speak. Make Them Suffer, who just remember we discussed the new song that they came out with last week with Spirit Box.
Yeah.
So like I'll listen to an album like that and that'll absolutely grab me. The year before that was Wage War. The year before that was the same year was the new Lamb of God. The new As I Lay Dying. Like all those bands that I kind of grew up listening to music with. They get added to my all time. And the new one that I've been introduced to is Born of Osiris. I don't know if we chatted about this last week.
I don't think we have, no.
Yeah. I think it was Josh who introduced me to it, but I think it was my mate Jared who introduced it to Josh. So Born of Osiris. They're like a metalcore band, but they've also got keys that add like synth and all that kind of jazz. Heavy breakdowns, beautiful vocals, melodies for days. And so I urge anybody to go check out Born of Osiris because they're pretty cool.
I posed a question to people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And to you as well.
What's that?
Top 5 albums of all time.
Oh, jeez, dude. Just by personal experience?
Yeah, your own top 5. Not like what people think the top 5 should be.
Shit, dude. That's a tough one because you get music that really had a profound impact on you through your years, and then you get music that you listen to still every single day of your life. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how does one judge that even? It's exciting.
That's up to you.
But I mean, I don't want to limit it just to 5, It's crazy because
that's the challenge.
Yeah. I mean, my personal 5 favorite albums of all time. Dude, I wouldn't even be able, I mean, there's definitely got to be Deep Blue, Parkway Drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one. Got it. Just that album. That's the reason why I'm talking to you right now. That's how I met you, dude. Because when I discovered Parkway Drive, I was like, I love this, and I want to try and make music that sounds something like this. Just the energy, the power, and the way they were. So Parkway Drive, that was an early one. Deep Blue. So we're talking albums. I'm not going to talk about like Fleetwood Mac and Dire Straits and all those bands that are.
Why not?
But you're only limiting to 5.
Well, it's top 5 of all time.
All time
for
yeah.
you. Yes.
Yeah, but my top 5, it's weird because there's my
Arch Enemy, really?
Doomsday Machine. Interesting. 36 Crazy Fist, not Rest Inside the Flames. A Snowcap Romance is a banger album. Rest Inside the Flames was cool, but not as cool as a Snowcap Romance. Yeah, dude, that's a tough one. I mean, shit. Super tough. I mean, I'm people laugh at me if I say my top. I mean, if I talk about the top most influential albums for me, would be Metallica Black, Nirvana Nevermind, Offspring Smash, Parkway Drive, Deep Blue, and let's say Limp Bizkit, Significant Other. That would be like, yeah.
Those are the ones that influenced you the most.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And then I got into the Kill Switches. Then I got into the As I Lay Dyings. That's when I got into A Day to Remember. All on the core side of things. But then I started delving into like the hardcore side. Started to be able to decipher between the separate genres. Because, I mean, for instance, in 2005, when I went over to the States, my number one played album, if we had on Spotify, my number one was Seether, local at the time, but obviously they've built a career over there. But listen, I used to eat, sleep, everything Sarangas and Seether when I first discovered them, and I loved their music. That Calm and Effect album got me through that entire. I used to go to sleep with my earphones in my ear, and I used to fall asleep to Calm and Effect every single night of my life for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. And then I saw them in Denver with Hailstorm, Flyleaf, and Shinedown. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pantera,
5,
Cowboys
dude.
from Hell. Interesting one.
Yeah, top 5. I mean, there's a few that I have that's in the list, and it's been there for a couple of years, and it won't be topped. And it's mostly because I consider them to be perfect albums. It's
So hit me.
the one is actually from a band from Cape Town. Funny enough,
Loud and Just Breathing
Alive
was
from
awesome.
Just Breathing.
That was awesome.
Okay,
that was Jesse's first album.
Was that
Second
Jesse's
album.
first album? Okay.
Well, that was Jesse on the album.
Tell me you're not a Killswitch fan by not telling me you're not a Killswitch fan.
I am not a Killswitch fan. I'm a Killswitch Uber fan.
Yeah. The one album is actually Ian Watson's old band. Ian Watson from
Lost Prophets.
That's
I know, I was just about to say, bro.
Ian Watson. I meant Ian Watson.
Lithium.
From Lithium. Yeah. Why did I say Watkins?
Did you say Watkins?
I think I did. Did I?
Yeah, you did say Watkins. That's why I was like, huh? Lost Prophets. Standing on the rooftops, everyone would scream, yo.
After that old news broke, I don't know if I could keep the Lost Prophets albums that I had, so I kind of just got rid of them.
No, I mean, I know lots of people burnt these CDs and all that kind of stuff, but I must admit, I listened to a podcast, two Brits. I think it's called How to Murder a Podcast. If everybody, I mean, whoever listens to this podcast must like some sort of podcasts. Go check out How to Murder a Podcast. The way they do their stuff is just so cool. And go watch the Ian Watkins story.
Anyway, Ian Watson from Lithium. Him and Paul Opie was in a band called Black Milk.
Oh, wow.
And they got an album, and it's called shit, I can't remember the name of the album now. My memory's going for a fucking shit. Anyways, that album, I'll actually have to play it for you one day. That I consider a perfect album, and I have that, and I love it. So that's in my top 5.
Nice.
The other one is an album from The Cure.
Okay. Not familiar. Say that again?
Disintegration. Yeah, from The Cure. That I consider a perfect album. that
Okay.
is perfect.
Listen, do me a favor. I think while we do these exercises, I mean, you brought this up, and it's been highly stressful on me to try and explain my 5 greatest things, bands or albums of all time. You need to now send me those 5 albums, and you need to listen to my 5. Although you've listened to all of my 5 already, because I'm sure you were a fan of most of those bands, but that was just in the era that I grew up, dude. And I just loved being a misfit. I loved being, just on the cusp. But carry on with your albums before we continue.
That's the thing. It's like I'm also putting the challenge on myself. It's like what I consider top is an album that I like and I consider perfect. Like there's no filler, the tone is perfect, the performance is perfect, everything feels great. And Disintegration from The Cure is that. And that album from Black Milk is that as well. I can't think of an album by Metallica, for instance. I wouldn't put them in my top 5. Neither Pantera or Van Halen, even though I love both of them.
I never listened to Van Halen, to be fair.
They don't have one great album.
I only discovered Van Halen, like there were Van Halen songs that I'd known, my whole life, but I never knew they were Van Halen until like a couple of years ago. Must be honest, never followed that. That like the 80s, the only 80s like hair metal bands that I ever listened to was Bon Jovi. I knew of like Whitesnake was also another new one that I hadn't heard of. Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, No Effects, Pump the Valium or Volume.
Pump the Valium.
Offspring, Smash, The Artist Motor, Holy War, Less Than Jake, Borders and Boundaries, just to keep it all different. Sure, Less Than Jake. I mean, along there with like Thy Art Is Murder, Offspring, Smash for sure. Didn't know. I know No Effects. I always knew of No Effects. Never got quite. I was never. People are gonna judge me. I never really got into the really fast-paced punk music. There was only one punk band that got me. That got me like really, really into like the punk sound was Millencolin.
Yeah. They were like more punk rock than fast punk, but yeah.
But that's kind of more of the sound that I like, with the melody driven punk.
Yeah, on the punk side, if I was to add an album close to my top 5, is Stranger Than Fiction by Bad Religion.
Bad Religion were also wicked, yeah.
For one reason or another, I don't know, but Stranger Than Fiction I get the most joy out of, and I know there's better albums out of there. But another album that goes in my top 5 is Angel Dust from Faith No More.
Okay, I mean, you're a big Mike Patton fan. Oh, I mean,
yeah,
Faith No More fan.
Yeah, especially that album, because it's like, I mean, Faith No More always had like mixed styles within an album. Like a song would be different from the next one, but they started taking it like real different directions with that. They had like poppy rock songs. They had like a ballad. They had a heavy as fuck song in there. And then they had like some weird evil country. It was just mixed.
I thought you were going to say evil cunt.
I married a country girl.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I can't really think much of other stuff. But yeah, Bad Religion, Stranger Than Fiction is a close one up there. And Agitus Biron from Sigur Rós is also a very good one to have. I would also put that up there.
Didn't even that sounded like a foreign language.
Icelandic.
Icelandic. I like it. That's like remember who's also from Iceland? Him.
No, they were from Sweden.
Sweden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sweden. Yeah, I didn't know
Björk.
that.
Björk
I thought they were. But that's also they were all together in Iceland. The one Viva La Bam video. I think that's where I get it from. But
one other
speaking
album,
of Bam Margera, not in a good space. What's that?
Really? What's happened with him?
Well, he's just not doing well.
Is he? He hasn't died yet.
No. Well, we don't
was
hope that
close.
on anyone, Art.
No, but he was close at one point.
Report, Papa G's exclusive.
It's a Papa G exclusive.
And a Papa G's exclusive is Bam Margera is not dead.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah. That's hilarious, dude.
But to round off my top 5,
Yes.
it's not a definite in there, but it's an album I really get a lot of joy of. Is Hysteria from Def Leppard.
Okay. Hysteria from Def Leppard. Huh?
Yeah. What can you be? What can you be?
Listen,
Yeah, man.
I just remember Def Leppard being the first band I ever went to second base with.
What, the whole band?
Yeah, I was like, guys, I'm going to second base. And they're like,
And the-
and what was that song? What was that? When Love and Hate Collide. Is that even
geez,
Def
that's-
Leppard?
yeah,
Def
that's
Leppard.
Def Leppard, but that's late down the
When
line.
love and hate collide. And you're like, boobies. Oh, wow. That's it. Love and hate collide.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're being
I
gross.
remember doing like in music
Well, I'm
class
being gross.
in high school. I made people listen to that album because I was trying to tell everybody that the drummer only had one arm.
Oh, yeah.
But then only realized later that the recording was done with programmed drums.
Well, he actually, to be fair, he used his left leg to hit his, I think it was,
Snare.
his left was a snare. Yeah, his
Yeah.
left foot was a snare. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
at that time he was learning how to play the stuff because it just happened after his accident where he lost his arm.
Yeah.
And then they made the album and then he helped structure it. And then after the album was released, he taught himself how to play drums again with one arm. And then they went on tour and just kept playing. And I saw them play in Cape Town and he's damn good, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, dude, it's just, I'm stuck in a bit of a rut, man. Like, I don't know what it is. I think, I'm also posting all these old photos of myself playing like big shows and getting myself amped. What I did yesterday is I actually redid the entire studio, and I started, hey, dumber in the house. Def Leppard, yes,
Leppard,
of course. Yes, I know many long nights singing Def Leppard. But yeah, dude, I just feel like I started moving this studio around. Then yesterday I was like, well, there's an amp there. I need to get some sort of inspiration. I'm really struggling with the inspiration in terms of picking up a guitar. Like, I've got that whole thing is like, I'm so shit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to like write another riff again. Do you know, you get in your own head. I mean, when last did you play drums? I mean, I know it's very difficult for you because it's hard to play drums. Drums are a very loud instrument, but now I've basically moved my little combo amp into the lounge. The only thing that I'm missing, it's plugged in, everything's ready to go. All I need is a guitar cable so that I could actually start playing some guitar and actually putting some riffs together.
I don't have that issue with drums because I'm so used to not playing it all the time. But the issue I do have, which is a similar thing, is actually sketching. Like drawing.
Sketching? Yeah.
Yeah, because like I've been so busy that like a couple of months ago I wanted to do like a series of cartoon cars. So I was drawing cars, I was making them all exaggerated shapes and stuff, and then I did about 2 or 3 a week, and then it was like one a week, and then one a month, and now if I try and draw a car again, it's like, how do I do this? I don't know how to do it anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally understand it's just, I mean, drawing cars, I mean, you're really good at drawing and all that kind of stuff. But do you ever feel like there's a situation where you're like, oh, I used to love doing this so much. I want to do it again, but there's something inside of you holding you back.
Every day.
Because that's what I'm doing that. That's with exercise. I used to love being in the gym. I used to love lifting heavy weights. So my plan is essentially, and my plans don't always go according to plan. People in the chat and people who know me very well will know this, that sometimes what I say doesn't always come to fruition 100%. But I'm looking at completely, what are you agreeing with me?
Yes, but also speaking of exercise, I came up with something I call the super plank.
A super plank. You just plank for a very long time. What?
No, what you do is you plank, but it's half. It's the mid position of doing a push up
Okay.
and planking, but you hold that position. I'll see if I can show you. Hang on.
Oh my God.
Papa
Can't
G-
you put yourself full screen?
No.
Jeez,
Shit. Anyway, hang
hopefully
on,
no
check that out.
COVID. There we go.
Okay, so there.
Okay, let's go. Super plank.
Go like this.
Okay.
Okay, so this is planking.
Yeah.
Okay, this.
That's a push-up.
For as long as you can.
That's a push-up. That's holding a push-up.
Oh my God.
That's holding a push-up. That's basically just a push-up.
Yeah, but it's like it's not easy.
Okay, well, I get it. I mean, I'll try it. But, geez, bro, what's going on there? Too many dirty sticks, eh?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, well, I mean, I've got mine over here. I'm not coughing like a crazy person.
Yeah, I've been chugging it all day. I've just been in
is
meetings. I've been talking. It's just been there.
Yeah.
This is my second fill of the day.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I remember that's
So, yeah.
that's a second full.
So yeah.
But, yeah, dude.
And also me
it's-
shouting and trying to hold up a push-up.
I know. Yeah. But I mean, listen, the listeners and anybody watching really appreciates that, dude. That's super plank. Basically
Super
a very long held push-up. But
Yeah. It
yeah,
burns,
dude.
bro. It burns here on your arm, like your shoulder as well. And then your core is like going, hang on,
So
dude,
you've been
which one is
working
what?
out. So you've been working out. So like you've been trying to keep fit and all that kind of jazz.
Well, I came up with it today.
Okay, nice one. Because I mean, I literally last week we were talking about the whole plant-based diet and stuff. It
Yeah.
just I one night, I think it was this weekend. I was like, okay, cool. I want to get I don't really have any food that I really want to cook. That's another problem. Do you ever have the problem where your fridge is stocked full of food, but you don't want to eat any of it? That's just not what you feel like. You don't feel like anything that is in your fridge. You just want to eat something else.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
It's literally the story of my life. So I ended up going on Uber Eats, trying to see if there's anything that I can, order that doesn't have meat. And it's just also meh, there's no explanation for it. It's just like nothing tickled my fancy whatsoever. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's get the beef dingus, whatever it is. So maybe I'm not all that cut out for the plant-based diet after 37 years of eating meat,
Well, yesterday we had those Linda McCartney sausages.
Linda McCartney has sausages? This is a something I didn't know.
I think you can only get them from Checkers.
Okay. Is this the
I think
Beyond Meat situation?
It's similar. It's not Beyond Meat or what's the other one? There's two. Oh, fuck it, whatever. It's vegetarian vegan sausages that is under Linda McCartney's brand.
Okay. All right. Well,
And,
I mean,
they're really good.
yeah, I mean, I just don't know if I'm like, if I wasn't ready for the mission of doing, like Uber Eats, trying to look for plant-based shit. I don't think I'm quite ready to say goodbye to meat. Although we'll see, because I haven't been like devouring meat anyway. It's just not something that I've been doing. But enough about us. I was really just trying to say that I'm really want to get back into writing riffs and stuff like that. I'm in a little bit of a rut, And that's the whole point of that situation. We digressed a little bit, but yeah, I really need to get behind a guitar again and start feeling the joy that I used to feel when I used to pick one up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, dude. I mean, if I don't play guitar as much as you, and my guitar is at my place, and I picked it up the other day when I was at my folks, and I was like, well, what is this thing?
Yeah. Look, I mean, I just want to be able to pick a guitar up, maybe record. And I got so fixated on amp sims and recording software. And the only time I'm going to record a riff, it's going to be on to a click and stuff. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm going back to old school. I'm going to put a amplifier in my living room with a guitar, and that's how I'm going to write my riffs, because that's how I used to do it, and I haven't done it for years, and that's probably why. That's the reason why.
Well, dude, what you gonna do about it?
Yes, exactly. What I'm going to do about it? Let's go to sports, I think.
Okay.
Let's stop.
Yay, sports.
All right. Let's move on from the motivational speaking and the rut situation and the fact that we're in the midst of a fucking pandemic and South Africa is not doing particularly well. So we're going to concentrate on the rest of the world that seems to be functioning almost at full capacity.
Yeah.
We got lots to talk about, dude. We had Max Verstappen winning the Austrian Grand Prix last weekend. I mean, to be expected, but some interesting turns of events in terms of time penalties and high action racing. Then we've got UFC 264 this weekend. We've got the Euros where England and Italy seem to be battling it out for gold, as I don't know what the Euros are. All I hear is Italy and England. And then we've got the British and Irish Lions tour. We've got Georgia versus South Africa that has just recently been cancelled as a result of 16 COVID cases in the camp. Where do we start, Mr. Pereira?
Well,
Or should I say Mr. Pereira?
Mr. Pereira.
Pereira.
If you want to speak about rugby, there's this initiative that's happening actually at my company. The one dude there, his daughter, I think she's 8. They're trying to do a raising for her because she's got some form of cancer.
Oh dear.
And what's actually happened now is that the guy in UK arranged for this whole Zoom thing, which you pay $10 to join in. And I must see if I can remember who's actually in this thing.
Well, why don't you just link it in the bio, if people are interested,
Yeah, I will do that. It'd be very cool. Because it's shit, I can't fucking call it up now. The people that he's got in the conversations, okay? Just I have to fucking find this. Where is it?
Okay. So
talk about something else. I'll go find it.
Yeah, so essentially let's go on the racing front for now.
Yes.
So Lando Norris, driver of the day, came third, could have come second, time penalty issue. Sergio Perez had the same time penalty issued imposed on him with his battle with Charles Leclerc. This is becoming super exciting for me.
Yeah, and I'm actually of the opinion that the penalties were justified.
I don't agree. I don't agree to a certain extent, because if you listen to the commentary on the broadcast, I feel like they only gave Checo the second time penalty because they gave Lando time penalty was basically a copy and paste of the same incident.
Well, it was essentially the same incident.
Yeah, but everybody, well, basically the stewards had a lot of work to do that day. Time penalties aside, we can't tell what the stewards are thinking. Great race for Lando. I mean, he's not sitting third in the championship at the moment. Just check out, bro. It's interfering with the live feed, eh?
Oh my God! Yes, it is.
There we go. Just checking. But good races all round. There. What's next? I know I've just heard that the Australian Grand Prix has been dropped due to COVID. Did you know about that?
Yes, I did hear about that this week, actually.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty sad, but I mean there are races that they are picking up, which is cool. But at the end of the day, it's good. People need to get familiar with the Formula One at the moment. It's really, really exciting. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But
it was a definitely good race. I do think Norris was driver of the day as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. But yeah, those penalties, they were hectic. But dude, I mean, the rules is if you're going to be taken on the outside on a corner, you must leave space for at least
one car. Yeah, one
the dudes
car
were
space.
like right on the
But he
the
was on the
edge.
driving line. That's the argument. He was on the driving line.
But
How can you
pushed him
leave? Yeah, but he was coming on. Perez was coming on the outside. If you're
Both
on
of
the
them.
driving line and the driver takes the risk to overtake on the outside, their risk is theirs to take.
Yeah,
Especially
but
if the driver is on the driving line on the inside.
yeah,
So-
but the rule is you got to leave space for one car.
But what if he's come up behind you and you don't see him?
You're supposed to see him.
Yeah, no, I guess. I mean, it's just one of those things. But
I found the thing that I was talking about, dude.
okay, all right.
You're
You're gonna try and sort that out for us. But the thing that I want to talk about, the
Yes.
be all and end all of this weekend, is most certainly UFC 264. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 3, which is it's exciting in itself, dude. Okay, here we go. What's this?
So this is what's actually happening for that thing I was telling you about. So let me zoom in. It's this little girl here. Whoa! There we go.
Oh, she's
He's
adorable.
actually organized to get Nick Mallet, Martin Johnson, Craig Chalmers, Rob Wainwright, and Dougal McDonald to have a discussion where for £10 you can join in on the discussion and ask them any questions, and it's a fundraiser to help her.
That is honestly awesome, dude. That is awesome. So
dude.
why don't you link that in the description? So it's Fighting for Flora.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
€10,
gonna
22nd of July, 8 p.m. UK time. All these legends, if you just pay a little bit of money, you can donate to saving this little lady's life. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So link it in the description, dude, if anybody's interested. We can check it
Definitely.
out. We don't make any money in this podcast, but I'll always like initiatives like that.
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
I helped them with the artwork. That whole thing was organized yesterday.
Oh wow, that's crazy, dude.
They got
I mean,
everyone on board. It was crazy.
sometimes those things are they're quick to set up, but for a good cause.
Yeah, definitely.
But at the end of the day, big weekend this weekend. Like I said, UFC 264. I am definitely waking up for it. I'm ruining my Sunday because I've done it before. Every single time I get up, I am absolutely shattered for the rest of the day. But I'm going to do it because it is such an exciting card. From start to finish, from prelims to the main event, it is such an epic card. Wonderboy Thompson, Gilbert Burns, co-main event. Shui Vasa on against Greg Hardy, someone everybody wants to see be absolutely smashed due to his previous issues and all that kind of jazz. I'm not going to go into it because I don't know the details, but I'm I'm super excited. I've got my picks: Dustin Poirier in the main event, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the co-main event, Tai Tuivasa in the featured bout, and we've got a South African fighting on the card, Dricus du Plessis. He's fighting a guy named Trevin Giles that they've been booked to fight previously, and then obviously lockdown restrictions got in the way, and now they've rebooked it. He's on a Connor card, so every South African should be watching that card because he's opening it up against Trevin Giles. That's going to be super awesome. He is 1-0 in the UFC and has waited a year and a half to get a second shot, so that's going to be super exciting. But yeah, not much else in the sport. South Africa versus Georgia this week has been cancelled. The British and Irish Lions thrashed the Sharks last night. The first test against the Lions is in doubt at the moment due to COVID. Well, what you saying there, Art?
I was going to say that South Africa beat West Indies in the one-day tournament against West Indies this last week.
Okay.
And West Indies is current world champions, so that's pretty good.
Did the West Indies win the World Cup?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
Well,
crazy.
that's what the
I need to brush up
commentator
on my
said when I was watching.
cricket trivia. I didn't know you were going to throw that curveball at me. But also big news in the basketball world. As you can see, I've got a little NBA basketball behind me. I've been absolutely obsessed with the NBA ever since the beginning of the pandemic. Try to find something interesting to do, play on PlayStation. I learned the world about the NBA through playing the game NBA 2K20.
Ooh.
And now I've been following the NBA nonstop for the last 2 years, and the Phoenix Suns are currently 1-0 up against the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo, with Chris Middleton, with Bobby Portis, with Brooke Lopez, Drew Holiday. The name goes on. They've got a power side. Then they've got Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder. All those dudes at Phoenix are doing their thing. And to be honest with you, dude, we may see the Phoenix Suns for the first time ever. Or I mean, they've reached the finals for the first time since 1993. I don't know if they've ever won a chip, but we may see two teams that will be winning their first ever NBA championship. It's pretty exciting, dude. So I definitely say that you need to watch that shit because it's super exciting, especially the fourth quarter of any game.
I love that shit. That's what I like. I like it when it's like not the non-expected people to win.
Yes, and the guy leading, the main man leading, the face of the franchise. I mean, I wouldn't call him the face of the franchise because you got D Book there, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, who's been in the NBA for 16 years. They call him an anomaly, a phenomenon, because he's only 6 feet tall, and he's leading the pack, and he's dropped 41 points in the last game, 32 points last night. So it's going to be crazy, and it's his first time ever to the NBA Finals in 16 years. So it might be a fairy tale story.
Wow!
Don't you love a fairy tale story, dude?
Oh, I fucking love it, man. I think it's awesome.
It's awesome. And then we're currently watching a fairy tale story unfold in front of our eyes with Max Verstappen. So yeah, it's you know what, dude, if it hadn't been for the sports, I would have been crazy by now, dude. Absolutely cotton picking crazy.
Do you want me to give you a little bit of a chuckle?
Let's hear it.
We went to. Now I've got to find out what screen this opened up in.
It's all good. It's not affecting the live pizza. It's all good. Receded atmospheric notebook.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So hang on. This is
because now I can't see the feed.
No, you can't see the feed, but I'm getting there. How does this work now? Oh shit!
Receded atmospheric notebook. That's all I see. B5. Just press escape or something, maybe. There we go.
I need to get that deck or something on another screen.
You're trying too much while we're doing this remote shit. You're doing well. You're doing well, but I'm worried that we're gonna get.
Wait! I've got an idea. I'm gonna do it again.
Okay, but you know
I've
what I
got
think is a need though.
I got so much post editing to do after this.
That's why you trust your producer, bro.
Come on.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, cool. So let's see.
Okay.
Here. So I'm gonna do a window capture.
Hey, listen, don't give away our secrets here. Hey? You just do your thing quietly on that side. There we go. Now our whole feed is blank, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It's not gonna work. Okay, wait. Hang on.
Okay.
I have to do this.
Don't do it.
Can you see it?
No, you can't see it.
No, shit. Okay.
Anyway,
never
we'll
mind.
do it next time. Let's not let the listeners watch our handiwork. But Art. Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you.
And it was on mute as well. Damn it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Basically, what I was going to show you, we were at a Chinese shop, and I took photos of all the badly translated stuff.
Okay, brilliant. That's where the whole receded thing came from. I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it is what it is. But
your
than
PowerPoint opens up on the main screen, it's not doing me any favors.
yeah. Okay. Besides badly translated, what are their labels?
Yeah, Chinglish.
Besides, dude, come on, you're gonna get us kicked off YouTube. Besides that, what's been raging you, bro?
This is
Outrageous!
God damn, I hate it.
All right, this week's Outrageous. If you don't know, now you know what we do every week. Outrageous. With Outrageous, Art has a list of 72 items that can be updated at any time, where I pick a number and he tells me what has been pissing him off lately, or throughout his life.
So pretty much.
So
okay, pick a number.
I need to pick a number, and I've picked a lot of numbers. And also, I thought about this, dude. Maybe what we should do, instead of repeat doing the numbers, if this is an easy exercise, delete the ones that we've done, so you can say, okay, choose between 1 and so.
We could, but I'll remember.
Okay, so give me number 40.
Open mouth eating and misophonia.
Oh my God, is that what misophonia is? Open mouth eating.
That is. I grew up with my dad slurping everything that's wet.
No, bro.
No matter what temperature.
You are absolutely dead to me if you think you're gonna eat loudly in this Joel. It's not happening on my watch.
I can't stand it. It is.
And you know what? I've been playing on games online. We've got dudes sipping tea and eating like food while we're playing games and shit. It's not on, bro. It's not on.
No.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times. It is what it is. But I mean, listen,
there's
nothing worse than it being right next to you. That's the great thing about this whole like lockdown shit. I don't get to see people doing that stuff. I mean, a double down on that is chewing ice, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Someone drinking a drink and chewing ice, it drives me dilly.
That is on the scale of I'm going to murder you because of the way you eat, of 1 to 10. Sounds that the object makes, like the ice block or the chip or the crackling, that's like between a 5 and a 7 out of 10.
Can I tell you my worst, dude, is when someone takes a chip. Okay, this is it's the same thing, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it is.
When someone takes a chip and they crunch it before they close their mouth and they go, isn't that the worst?
That is the worst. But what I was saying is like that's the sound the chip makes. The thing that makes it the worst is because you're adding in the sound that your mouth makes with the chip sound.
Yeah, it's just the whole exercise. It's just not on.
It's the sound that your mouth makes is what drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like a
No, stop! It's in my ears.
That shit.
Horrible. Can't deal with it.
Fucking can't stand it. And then there's people that sit there and work like this. They're eating and they're like,
yeah, I don't understand the whole eating with your mouth open situation, dude. I'm right there with you, 100. Eating with your mouth open, not even talking with your mouth full pisses me off as much as that. Like if someone talks to me and they're chewing and they're eating and they're talking to me with their mouth full, if they can do it tastefully, I don't really mind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
So,
And it's
but if someone's sitting there chewing like the cud, not fun. Not fun at all, dude. Anyway,
Yeah,
you've
that's
made
what-
me irritated from your own outrageous.
I'm irritated from it now.
Yeah. So on that note, I think it's been a good fun show, dude. It's sometimes also we're running the show remotely at the moment. It's very difficult, blah blah blah. So I must say, everybody, sorry for the delay. It's been a hell of a I knew the ice thing was going to be mentioned. Yeah, I cannot deal with it. I cannot deal with it, and Demi knows. I can't deal with it at all. It kills me. But yeah, as I was saying, sometimes we run a bit late. We got some technical issues and all that kind of stuff, especially the fact that we're producing the show from afar, remotely. Art, there's nothing I want you more is than here in the studio producing the show, dude. But the lockdown will be eased. All we're doing is following the rules, bro. And in no time we'll be back in studio together. So we don't have to worry about this remote crap and double audio and all that kind of stuff. But then again, we made it. We did it same time, same place on Thursday. I love and dude, I say this every week to everybody. You guys have got to thank this man, Mr. Art Pereira, for pushing me to do it every week, because he believed that it was a necessity, and I believe him. So same time, same place next week, guys. But if you haven't, subscribe to Papa G's House if you can. Do us a favor. If you haven't, hope you enjoy the content and subscribe at a later stage. But if you want notifications, turn on the notification bell. We love you. It's been a great episode from myself and trusty producer Art. Until then, same time, same place next week. Until then, we say peace.
I don't wanna go anywhere else. I wanna go to Papa Jesus. Yeah, that's where we're going.